Hey everyone. I started a booktube channel and so here we are. I thought it would be a great idea to use the Booktube Newbie Tag for you all to get to know me a little bit more and perhaps start engaging in Booktube universe. So, like I said, I'm new here, and the reason why I wanted to start my channel was because one, I wanted to engage with my books a little bit differently, right? So I usually finish a book, I maybe write about it, and then put it down. I feel that when you read in community, you get to engage in conversations that are a little bit different than what you may have perceived. I love being part of a book club or just reading the same books as friends. And when you discuss it, the things that they see versus what you see, you're like, oh my goodness, my eyes are open. I love that. And so with BookTube, I know a lot of people are reading like similar books and engaging in similar genres. And so due to that, I just felt like that's going to be just a great space to learn more and to grow more and to engage better with the books that you're currently reading. So that's the reason why I wanted to start this channel. Community is a big thing. Community is so important, and it just raises your spirit in such a different way. So I really enjoy that, and here we are starting our booktube channel. Okay, fun, unique things I'm gonna bring. I don't know. We shall see, and I'm excited for that. I hope that I get to bring variety to the page and engage in different topics. So, like a lot of people, I read mostly fiction. That's kind of where my lane is. I have in the past have read historical nonfictions. Those books that I have currently read that are in the um, bracket of nonfiction, historical nonfiction particularly, those are usually like gut wrenching. I find myself being angry sometimes, confused, because you're learning things that maybe you had no idea about. So, example, The Woman, it's a historical nonfiction that kind of tells you a story of people who lived in the US who are fighting in the Vietnam War. Unless you study the Vietnam War in depth, like, yes, in our school system, you study Vietnam War, but I think this right here gives you a more individual perspective of what was currently going on during that time. Historical nonfictions I find to be enlightening, engaging. Um, it puts more of the responsibility on you to, after you finish reading those books, to take a step and do more research on it, especially if that's something that you enjoy doing. A lot of authors, they do such a great job of connecting real life situations to these novels. And so I enjoy that a lot. I enjoy the education of reading books. So after I read that book specifically, I went in and I was like, okay, give me more stories, real life stories of people that lived through that time. What really was happening? What was going on? Educate. A little knowledge didn't hurt nobody. Get that wisdom. Ensure that you seek insight when you're reading books like that. I also am big into self-help books. I am a woman of God, and so I love Christian books that have themes of the Bible, and so I love to share those as well. So yeah, I hope to bring just variety. Maybe that might be fun and unique. We shall see. Okay, what am I excited about? A lot. One, I'm really excited for the new books, all the books. Give them to me. And I know there's a whole overconsumption of books, completely understand. So for me, I like to engage with books through different platforms. So that may be Audible, that also could be Libby, which is really huge, Kindle Unlimited, able to use my Kindle all the time. And then if I were to buy physical books, I really try to find them on secondhand websites, or I go directly to an independent bookstore, maybe a used bookstore. So I'm just being very intentional about that, but I'm excited for all the books. I'm also really excited to meet new people and to engage in different genres and share different genres and titles and all that stuff and authors and themes. Give it all to me. Why do I love reading? It's a true escapism, right? So when you're a kid reading, sometimes those books are just fun and exciting and you want to like be in those roles as well. Percy Jackson, everyone, you wanted to be a demigod. You did. You really did. And so you just love reading for that aspect of it, right? So you're putting yourself in those worlds. When I was growing up, reading was pushed upon us. Thank you, mom and dad. It wasn't an option. Monday through Friday, we were not allowed to watch TV. The goal of that was you're spending time doing your homework, you are reading your Bible, and you are engaging in the books that we got from the library the Saturday before. And that was my life growing up. And because of that, though, I was like, okay, for reading, I have to read fun books. Yeah, love for reading didn't start out as love. It was a love-hate relationship type of thing. And then over time, I enjoyed it. And I'm thankful for that, for it to be in my life for such a long time. Okay. The next question is, what book or series kind of got you into reading? So it's not necessarily like one book, one series. I grew up on, again, different genres, which I really enjoy. But the books that I remember well that I enjoyed was American Girl, Addie, all day, every day, right? Josephine, Samantha, Felicity, give it to me. Give them all to me. So I enjoyed American Girl, Babysitter's Club, Animorph. I think I'm saying that correctly. Like those series, Goosebumps, things like that. Hardy Boys, Nancy Drew. And then as I got older, Hunger Games, Maze Runner. I was into all of that. I say Harry Potter, but we were not allowed to watch Harry Potter or read Harry Potter in our house. But later on in life, I did get a chance to read through the books, and solid, of course. Love them all. What questions would I ask a booktuber? One, how, like, the engaging with the camera is probably one of the hardest things for me to do. It's difficult. So like, one, how do you get over that? How do you get over just being in front of the camera, talking so well and so eloquently, about those topics that you're talking about? Two, where do you find the time? Where do you find the time to do it? And three, I guess this is also about time, not only about time to video, but like to read and to really take your time with your book and then engage with the audience about the book. And then books as in plural, because some of you guys are talking about a lot of books. So like, where's the time? How do you do it? Let me know. What challenges do I see with Booktube? I think it's just time, right? And I want to be real and authentic when I'm on here. So a big thing is I want to take my time with my books, right? So I feel that instead of reading, I don't know, like 10, 15 books a month, which may not be realistic for me, it might be 4 or 5. And I just think that might be a challenge compared to other people, but just know that it's slow out here, right? I like to take my time, especially in my space, in my safe space. I want to be intentional about that. So maybe in other moments of my life and seasons of my life, I'll be able to consume more books. But right now, when I am busy with my job, it's just not realistic. But I'm thankful that audiobooks are a thing, and so I can consume so much more with audiobooks than physical books due to the fact that, one, my commute is very long, almost an hour, sometimes in the car, hour and a half. And then there are times with my job, it requires a lot of administration time, just sitting in front of the computer and just bulldozing through work. And due to that, I get to like sometimes listen to books while I'm like typing away. Next question is, when did I start reading? I don't remember an age, but I just remember being in elementary school and my parents having us go to the library every Saturday and having us read those books Monday through Friday and back to the library again. During our summer breaks, we traveled to Florida every summer. And of course, you're like, oh, Florida, fun, beach. Yes, it was a lot of fun. It was a great time to be with family. And we didn't escape the education part of it all, not one bit. My uncle was very big when it came to education. And what I didn't know was my parents packed my Hook on Phonics workbook. Y'all remember that. And so sometime during the summer, my uncle would bring us to the library. We would collect books. and then we would come home, read them. I would work on my hook on phonics that he would assign to me. And that was summers. And so that was I was in elementary school during that time. And so that's what I can remember about reading was family, right? My parents being intentional about bringing us to the library. And then when we would travel to our uncle and aunt's place, right? It never changed, right? That's Haitians for you. Anywho, next is where do you read? Right here in this little nook area I have. I'm in my living room on my couch. I really enjoy that during the day. I try not to read in bed during the day because I will nap hard. But in the morning when I wake up, I usually leave my book right beside me. And so I'll wake up and I'll read a couple of pages. Like I mentioned earlier, on my commute, I will listen to audiobooks because I'm usually in the car for about an hour and a half. So audiobooks are the way to go for me. And then sometimes like I'll just bring my Kindle anywhere and everywhere with me. So if I go have a doctor's appointment, I know I'm going to be waiting in that waiting room for a while. That Kindle's coming with me. Sometimes I'll bring my Kindle to a place like if I'm going out to eat with someone and I'm waiting for them, I'll bring my Kindle with me. It's always in my purse. It's always in my bag. So Kindle for everywhere and anywhere. I remember last year I traveled for a friend's birthday. And of course, I brought my Kindle with me because, you're going to bed, you want to read a Kindle. But sometimes we would like Uber to restaurants and things like that. And I was like, I'm just going to put my Kindle with me. So as we're in the Uber and like, yep, music is playing, we're hyped, all that stuff, I'm reading my book because I know there's at least 30 minutes until we get to that restaurant and I'm going to read my book. So it's always with me and I enjoy that. I enjoy the accessibility that the Kindle brings to our lives. And I think we're all happy for it. And the fact that it's an app. So let's say I don't have my Kindle and I'm upset with myself, like, oh, I forgot my Kindle. The app is available and it's great. So I can read anywhere and everywhere. If I had headphones in, I'm listening to an audiobook. What kind of books do I enjoy? So definitely romance. I think everyone does in some capacity, right? There's something like good feeling about it. I enjoy romance and I enjoy specific authors that write romance, and I'm slowly learning that. I think in the beginning, we just consume all the romance. I'm like, oh, that's cute, whatever. But some of them, like, I can't, the, the miscommunication trope in romance books, I'm throwing it out. Read it, but I'm over it. And so I really enjoy books with adults like 30 and up, and they're navigating through life and it's realistic behavior. Abby Jimenez is one of them. She writes amazing romance books with people who are my age and they are going through life, the ups and downs, their realistic perspective, right? And realistic behavior that we should see in adults. And so I do love romance, but I'm slowly learning specific authors are really, really hitting it right on the nose when it comes to how to write adult romance books. I do enjoy some mafia books, the little dark romance books. It doesn't bother me at all. It's like a whole other world. Yeah, dark romance doesn't bother me one bit. So sometimes I'll dabble into that. And then as an adult, of course, diving into romantasy books, things like that I really enjoy. Fantasy in general. Those books are just so engaging. The world building is what's so fun about those books. How an author is able to create those worlds out of nothing. Amazing. And that's kind of like what I'm excited about too, is engaging in more fantasy romantasy books that have different styles of world building. I'm excited for that. Dystopian books is what we grew up on. Divergent, Hunger Games, Maze Runner. So dystopian is definitely a style of writing I enjoy. I also love memoirs. I'm starting to get really into them and listening and reading them. Crying in H Mart was one of those memoirs that like got me back into that world, and I enjoyed that book. Crying in H Mart was one of those memoirs that got me back into that genre, and I really enjoy it. So if you have any memoir like recommendations, give them to me. Okay, what does my bookshelf look like? It's a mix of a lot of things. Right now, I am picking up more memoirs, which I'm really excited about. Current TBR list. Right now, I have a few thrillers, I have a couple of romance, I have some fantasy. So I'm really excited to just dive into that. I have a few books that I really want to finish before 2025. And so that's currently kind of like what my bookshelf looks like as a whole. The memoirs, I don't have a memoir that I'm going to finish by 2025. I think I'm going to push them for next year, and in hopes that like that's how I'm going to start my year. I think what this channel is going to be is kind of like the current reads, right? What I'm excited for, TBRs, maybe some book hauls, favorite audiobooks, and maybe dabble in another thing, other like lifestyle things, whether it's fitness, wellness, education, because those are the realms I'm currently in, especially for my job. I hope you liked it. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you stick around. So that's it. And I'm excited for what's to come. I hope you guys are too. And we'll talk soon. Bye, guys.